Hello everyone and welcome back. Today on the channel I'm going to be showing you the progress that has been made on the Ram truck. As you can see, it's right here behind me. Yes, it did move here under its own power. That's hard to believe after 7 years, which we'll begin to later in the video where we'll show you one of the first crank ups we had with the truck. I got it recorded so that way you guys can see how everything was, how it went, how smooth this thing really runs now. We've made a lot of progress on this truck. In fact, I've been moving out too fast, my bank account can't keep up, so we're going to be sticking on little projects in the next video, or in a later on, for me, next week, I'll be sticking on little projects for this thing. So I'm going to show you some stock footage, what I did, of me working on the truck from probably about a week or two ago back. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to run through those, you can watch me work, and then we'll kind of go over everything we've done. I'll show you the inside. It looks pretty good now than what it did. So I hope you enjoy this. Alright guys, now we're going to go walk around the truck. I'm going to go over everything what we've done. As you can see, we've removed the headache rack and the bed liner, or the plastic bed liner. And I've also cleaned up the interior, which was not in the video. But as you can see, I've got these all nice and painted. I found some vinyl paint at O'Reilly's. That's just charcoal gray. It went really good. It's a pretty close match, and it really looks good. Honestly, you can't hardly tell the difference. As you can see, it's all nice cleaned up. I just kind of did a brief cleaning up. The seat was in really good shape. There's only one little tear over there on the driver's side, which is normal. I've got that panel back on. There's a few things I've got to do, but other than that, I did clean it up, and it does look a lot better. I will clean it up and detail it better than this, but I just did it so that way it wouldn't be so nasty and sticky to sit in here. All right, let's move out to the engine. Okay. So I've got everything pretty much back on. I have spent many hours rerouting vacuum lines, or kind of trying to make it go back to factory, and I've got about almost all of them done, except for there's one left. I can hear it hissing, and it drives me nuts, which I'll have to get to later. But as you can see, we put on a radiator. Here, this thing, the other radiator was bad, and I'll show you the old radiator here in just a minute once we get through here. I also had to install a fuel pump. As you can see, we got a new fuel filter, and the carburetor, I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if I can zoom in. You probably can't see it, but it has been rebuilt. That is the same carburetor that came on the truck. You've probably seen it in a little bit of the video I had rolling around there. So far we're good. We got a new battery, got that going. Other than that, we haven't really done too much. Oh yes, I did put a new thermostat in here. I put a 180 thermostat in there. Always when you replacing a thermostat, always go with a 180, unless yours calls for something less, like a 160 or whatever. But I always recommend a 180. This thing originally came with factory a 195. I went with a 180. This thing should run a lot better, a lot cooler. So that'll be good. Today I also did the transmission. So the filter, as you probably seen, was pretty nasty. The fluid was a little dirty. In fact, I have the fluid over here. Let me get over here to the I haven't dumped it up, but you can see this is a 2-gallon container right here, and you can see about how filled up it was. Now, mind yourself, I added a quart in there myself, just so the thing would move. Once I added the quart, the truck would move on its own, almost. So the only other problem I got is the front brakes are now stuck on this truck. I just got done taking the wheels off, and those are spinning freely, but I don't think no fluid's going back there, and these are jammed shut. So I'm going to have to do some work, and plus I just realized that all the bushings and everything on the front end is just about gone. So this thing is going to need a front end, pretty much a whole front end job done on it for the most part. So that's going to eat up a lot of my budget here, but everything is looking good. She is coming together. I am trying to work on this to get it done, so that way I can get this thing sold and get it out of here. But she has come a long ways in a few weeks, so I think she's looking good. Alright guys, I wanted to show you our radiator here that I took out, and as you can see, this radiator has been bad for a long time. Alright, anytime you see this corrosion or anything like this radiator is gone. It is, I'm willing to bet this is probably one of the original radiator, because they just don't sell metal radiators anymore. Even the new radiator I got was plastic, which was the downer, but it's all I could get. You know, for 88 bucks, cannot complain. But you can see this thing right here was probably most of its problem right here. When it was starting to happen was the radiator, because these rubber lines were also cracked and leaking fluid, so this is where a lot of the fluid was. The pan gasket was also bad, so that's where some of the fluid was going. So this radiator was bad. I went ahead and replaced it. I could just take one look and tell you this radiator is bad. So if you ever have a radiator that has a lot of corrosion like this, just so you know, it is bad. It's time to replace it, time to get rid of it, and go get another one. Right there. All right, before we wrap up, I thought I'd give you some numbers on this truck of how much we spent so far. I don't have the exact numbers. Apparently, I didn't quite get them wrote down yet, but I have a good estimate of how much we spent so far. This is including everything: the battery, the radiator, the thermostat, the carburetor, the original purchase price, the tags and title, pretty much every dime and dollar that we've spent on this truck. And so far we're about at the $800 mark. Alright guys, that is everything I've practically done to the Ram truck so far. We've gotten a lot of work done. It runs. I guarantee it's going to shift just fine now. Once we get the brakes taken care of, it can be going up and down the road to see if it's going to, how good it's going to run. I can't wait. That's the moment I've been waiting for. But apparently, now with the brakes locked up, it's going to take me a little bit longer before we get at least driving up and down the driveway at the very least. And like I said, I've got to wait till my credit cards roll over before I can even continue on with this project. So we'll be sticking with little projects, which needs to get done, such as the windshield wipers, the lights. I got the parts for the door, so we'll fix that. And we might do something, try to experiment with the paint, or the primer, the paint, to see what looks good. So there's the little odd end projects that'll keep me busy for a good couple of weeks before I actually need to go buy parts. So that'll be good. And I'll keep recording that. Now I want to apologize for some of the filming that that I did, but it was not recorded, such as doing the interior. My tripod fell over, it broke, it shattered into many pieces, literally. Don't ask me how. So I had to go buy a new one. And after that, after recording so much, after doing repairs for 10 minutes or 20 minutes, and the phone's been recording the whole time, it would kill my battery. Then I had to charge it up. So I wasn't able to record everything like I wanted to. I only recorded the kind of the important stuff, or kind of just get a little bit here and there, so that way I wouldn't kill my phone battery. It's been giving me some issues lately, guys. So I'm gonna have to definitely do something about that, because it's definitely eating up on my recording time there. So that's another thing I'll have to work with. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know this isn't our usual thing where I do back-to-back videos, the same thing. I try to break it up so it's not the same video week to week, same everything, but with unforeseen circumstances happening. I had a tree fall, hit a neighbor's carport. One of my trees on my property fell on his carport and damaged it. So I've been spending all week over there taking care of it and getting that handled, so I've not been able to film or do a lot of other stuff lately. I just happen to have a lot of Dodge footage already made, so this is what I decided to go with. So bear with me, guys. We will be getting back to our duster here pretty soon. That was the intended video for this week, but things just didn't work out like that. So hopefully next week everything will be back to normal, back to a normal little routine for me, and you guys will enjoy some of the videos that come out. Alright guys, if you did enjoy this video and like to see more of this type, let me know. Give it a thumbs up. If you'd like me to do how-to videos from this project, let me know. If there's anything you're interested in, if there's something that needs to be replaced that you guys don't know on these old trucks, I'll be more than happy to show it to you. If there's anything else, just feel free to put it down in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I see you here next time, so you guys stay safe out there. But we do have a poll going on here. If you would like to vote on this project's name, just look at the top.